Hi and welcome, my name is Debbie Watts and I'm Arakoola Card Art. Today is going to be a very simple, quick Christmas card. Just a few materials we need. We've got the Majestic Oriental Blossom and the Great Expectations stamp sets. A few oxides, these are gorgeous colours. We've got Ripe Persimmon, Fired Brick and Salty Ocean. And also we have a selection of various greens, peeled paint, crushed olive, old paper and twisted citron. We have a couple of acrylic blocks, some foam pads for construction later, and a fine detail black pen. So the only two pieces of cardstock you'll need is a 15 by 15 centimetre white folded score base card. I'm using a 300 GSM. Just really makes it more stable when standing up, especially on the mantelpiece over the Christmas in the lovely warm fireside heat. You will need a 14 centimetre diameter circle, and that's it really. We're going to be using these two pieces of cardstock to create our Christmas card. Let's take the branch from this lovely Majestic Oriental Blossom stamp set. So you peel this polymer stamp really slowly and just place on your acrylic block. And the great things about this is you don't need any U-mount or easy mount or any glues to stick it to your acrylic block. They just really simply peel and stick. Just to make sure that you keep and preserve your stamps after use, it's always a good idea to make sure you give them a soak for a minute in just some warm water, not hot but warm, and then gently rub the actual texture. Now they do stain. It does not damage the actual stamp itself or distort the image, but just keep them nice and clean. Always store them on the protective acrylic sheet that comes with your stamp set, and if you look after them you'll have many years of use from them. So let's start with creating a branch arch so that we can then hang our stockings from them. So taking a few of the Oxide Inks, I'm going to load up just very lightly with one of the colours and stamp. There's no science to stamping at all. It's just really creating the arch. You can put as much curvature in as you want, and you can actually create this in a straight line. Now I could go on to second and third generation stamping, so it's using the ink that's remaining on the stamp without re-inking. So if I just show you, you can start seeing some shadowing of that. But what I want to do, as you can see there, you can see the shadowing, and it just starts to give it some depth for the card image itself. So taking a different colour, just repeat the same. So lightly ink your stamp. Make sure if you do contaminate your ink block, your acrylic block, you just wipe off the ink. You don't really want that going on your card and spoiling your project. So just stamp over, and you can see you start to really build up that branch. So just repeat this with various colours. I'm going here for crushed olive, and just stamp it at different angles. If you don't want to do the second and third generation stamping, then just simply re-ink your image every time you want to stamp. There's no right or wrong to stamping whatsoever. So as you can see, just before we add the stockings onto the branch, I've just decided that I would like some dark branches and twigs. So So I've taken a brown of the Oxide, and I'm just really wanting to tone down the colours of the greens. Just wanting to add the brown. And as you can see, if you start building up these images, you just reposition the stamp very, very slightly. So there you go. The branch now is not looking so green, so you can see some textures coming into it. Now we are using Great Expectations, again from the Cartier Majestic stamp range, and these are some little tiny, I'm not sure whether you can see that, so let me put the white paper behind it, but they are very, very, very tiny stocking set. And I think they're just great for creating your hanging Christmas stockings for cards. I've got a smaller acrylic block for this. It's really, really important that you have the right block size for the stamp size. If you try and put a tiny stamp onto a large block, you find it's very difficult to handle, and you do end up, when you ink, with some ink on your block. So make sure you just have a few ranges in sizes of your blocks. And again, peel off the acrylic backing that the stamps come on and stick it to your block. As you can see, it's really secure, and it then helps you to be able to really position well and load up the ink. So I'm going to start with some blue and gently load your stamp, very light dabbies as you can see, and the colour starts to build up. As you can see, the oxides are really wet ink, so it allows you some time before you have to quickly stamp so that you're not rushing. But this is just a very quick card. So think about how we're going to hang the stockings. So you don't want to put the stockings right up to the branch, so just allow maybe 2 or 3 centimeters, and just light firm pressure to stamp. So again, load up your image, and then just at a different angle further along the branch, stamp again. Just quickly rub off, and it just looks after your stamps, and it's just better, so when you go to them next time, you haven't got to spend ages and ages cleaning them because you was in a rush last time and you simply forgot. So taking the ripe persimmon, just want to add some nice bright Christmas colour. We're going to take a different stocking and just again stamp the image onto your card. Reload, and then stamp again. It's great, isn't it? It's really, really quick to do this. Just make sure your stamps are dry too with your hand towel. So we want a stocking in the opposite direction. There are a few different ones. And load up the ink and stamp away. Perfect. Again, quickly wipe and quickly dry. Also on this stamp set, the Great Expectations, are these gorgeous tiny little presents. So alongside the stockings, we are going to just have some little presents. Christmas isn't Christmas without a few gifts. So again, we're going to suspend these, and I'll show you in a second how we do that. So just stamp not too close to the branch, but allow yourself some room. Might not be making sense at the moment, but trust me, once you start adding some finer detail, the card will actually all start to come together. can make it as busy or as simple as you like. It's entirely up to you. So again, quickly wipe and dry your stamp. And as you can see, we are almost starting to form the card. So you've got the branch, 3 or 4 different colours, and the brown just to darken it back up, and you've got the stockings and the small gifts. Didn't take a lot, did it really? So this is the image that we've created, the hanging gifts, the branch, and a few hanging stockings. So what we want to do is now connect up these stamp images to our branch. And this is taking a very fine line pen. I've used a 0.5 nib here. You can go finer. And I'm just going to create a hanging line, as you can see, that connects up into the branch. I'm going to do one line as a squiggle. Where you've got this gift in the way of the line, I want to give it the impression that the connecting hanging string for this stocking falls behind the branch. So I stop drawing the line at the bottom of the other image and then just really connect it back up. And then again this one. So as you can see, it's very simple to give it the impression. Okay, so just make sure you do all your images and you're not leaving any knots suspended. So what you might want to do is just create a figure of 8 to make it look as if you're going to tie the string to the branch. So figure 8 with a couple of legs. And it's really as simple as that. Don't have to put the bow on the top, but I just think it's nice to, because it looks like you've actually tied the string to the branch. So just making sure that you've got your bows at the top of each, and that's it really. It's always important to put the caps on your pens and your lids onto your pads, so that way you're not going to run these dry sooner than their lifespan. So there you go. A lovely Christmas branch with a few Christmas stockings. Just before we affix this to our base card, I thought, well, maybe I should have a sentiment. So I've got a very simple Merry Christmas. So the good thing about polymer stamps is that you can have them in a straight line on your acrylic block, or you can put a slight curve in them, so you can actually fix these onto the block where you want them. Take a VersaFine Clair. This is the black ink. Stamp up your sentiment, ink up your sentiment, sorry. And I'm just going to curve this on top of the branch. So just stamping your sentiment before we affix it to the base card. And there you have Merry Christmas. Flip over your die cut circle, and we want to take a few foam pads and place on the back. Foam pads come in all different sizes, And the good thing about it is you can cut them to size. So these large ones, I don't really want to put them all on, so I'm going to cut them down. So just simply take some scissors and cut them in half and stick them to the back of your die cut. These ones are quite sticky, and quite often they stick to places that you don't really want them to. But they're quite easy to peel off of your wax paper that they come on. So take the protective back off of them, simply peel them off. Some come off quicker than others. Take your folded base card, make sure you've got the opening the right way, and then simply stick your die cut to the front of your card. I always flip over and just give it a smooth rub, just to make sure those foam pads are sticking perfectly, and that way if you push down the front you could crease the front of your card. So by putting the pressure on the back, you're leaving your image pristine. Just want to add a bit of sparkle pen, so I'm using the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. There are many different ones on the market, and we're just going to add a bit of glitz. So this, don't know whether you can actually see it being added to the card, but it's like a wet glitter. It's probably not really going to pick up on the camera, but trust me, they do look quite special. So again, you don't have to be precise, just add the sparkle pen to the places you want to. Don't worry if your nib of your pen gets to be contaminated with the colour. Just simply take a wet tissue and wipe that colour away. These pens do come in different colours, but I love using this clear silver. It's very versatile and really works well. So I don't think I'm actually going to be able to show you the sparkle in the light. You may just be picking that up, but there you go. So wasn't that a fabulous quick card? And you can sit and make a few of those in batches and they're ready to go. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, and tune in very soon for my next quick card tutorial. All I can say is happy crafting. Thank you.